Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I want to talk to you about whether or not narcissists can become self-aware. The basic answer is yes, narcissists can become self-aware after a fashion. It's not necessarily common, but some narcissists can understand that they are narcissists and process intellectually what that means. The deeper question here, though, the question underneath of this question and the reason for asking it is, does becoming self-aware mean narcissists can change what they are or heal? And the answer is no, they cannot. The intellectual understanding of what something is doesn't change its nature. It has no emotional impact on the narcissist as a thing. It's just words strung together. They may understand that they have no true empathy for others, but this doesn't make it suddenly possible for them to feel feelings they don't have or change this somehow. You might as well ask them to be a foot taller. They still can't understand empathy as an emotion other than to intellectually know it's one that they don't have, according to other people. They can understand the concept of empathy and therefore the basis of narcissism, but not the reality of these things as it relates to them. In order for something to stick in a narcissist's mind, it has to have emotional meaning to them. This is why no matter how many times you tell them things about your life and who you are and where you've been, they often don't remember. It's because, frankly, they don't care. This information has no emotional meaning for them, and therefore it means nothing to them. The diagnosis or opinion that they're a narcissist doesn't mean anything to them either. If the words are given an emotional meaning or given a connotation such as, you're a narcissist and that's very rare, or you're a narcissist and that's really bad, then it will make more of an impact, but it still isn't the word or the idea of being a narcissist that's making the impact. It's the idea that something about the narcissist is rare or bad that's making the impact. This may cause the information to be repeated as an excuse or be bragged about after a fashion, but this doesn't mean they actually get it. For example, if you accuse the narcissist of being cruel, they may say something like, well, I'm a narcissist, so it is what it is. Or they may say, I have a disorder, how can you blame me? These kinds of statements don't denote true emotional understanding of their disorder. They are simply repeating what they've been told, but they know you believe, and using it as an excuse or a deflection. It's just another reason to hate themselves, another thing to use against other people, or another way to avoid responsibility, or just another attack. That's why this is a dicey situation, really, because handing a narcissist a diagnosis of illness is like handing them a get-out-of-jail-free card in some ways. They now have yet another way to play the victim or to think they're special, which means they now have yet another way to avoid responsibility and yet another thing to blame their behavior on. This is how their mind works, and telling them so is not going to change that. I'm often asked if we should tell narcissists that they are narcissists. This is a situational thing. In some situations, it might be necessary to do that, and in others, it might be a waste of time at the very least. At the worst, it could be the catalyst to some really ugly scenes. In the end, I don't think it really matters if you tell them or not, because it's not going to change anything. A self-aware narcissist is still a narcissist. The information will still be used to further their own goals and agenda, or it'll simply be cast aside as meaningless. Exposing them as narcissists might make you feel better, like, tell the truth and shame the devil, but even if the narcissist believes you, which they probably won't, it won't make a difference anyway. This is the disorder. It is a personality disorder. The personality of the person itself is disordered. This means that narcissism and its effects permeates every facet of their being and every area of their lives. There is no place in their lives where they're not a narcissist. There's no situation where the narcissistic paradigm does not come into play. Just like there's no part of your life where you're not your height or where you're not your age. This is just what it is, and cluing them into that is not going to stop it. People dealing with narcissists are often truly baffled by that. Most narcissists are not stupid people by any means, so why don't they get it? There is a disconnect between logic and emotion within the narcissist. In most people, these things work together to make up our perception and create our experiences. In narcissists, they do not. Understanding something intellectually makes no difference to the narcissist because these two parts of their mind don't work together. In most people, emotions are very powerful, and when emotions run high, they can shut logic out completely. Narcissist emotions always run high because their emotional development did not progress to the point where they learned to process, understand, and control their emotions. In other words, narcissists do not just experience emotions the way the rest of us do. Emotions control their entire reality. Emotions are the glasses they see everything through. They are the undercurrent in the narcissist's every waking moment. This therefore makes it very difficult for them to obsess, perceive, or understand things logically. Without logic and reason to guide them, they have to rely on emotion. This is why they believe feelings are facts. It's all they have to go by. Information that does not have emotional meaning is simply swept away by all the things that do. It's buried under a mountain of overwhelming feelings. Because of this, truly understanding narcissism isn't really possible for a narcissist. It requires an emotional understanding of things that is coupled with and tempered by an intellectual, logical understanding so that you can see clearly when emotions are illogical, unreasonable, or inappropriate. Narcissists just don't have the tools necessary to do that. It would be like trying to objectively and logically observe a tornado from inside of it. It's just not possible. Trust me. In the end, the understanding of narcissism falls on us. Because they cannot change what they are, it's up to us to understand the situation so that we don't become caught up in the sickness too. I hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I do get a lot of my show ideas from the things that people say and the things they say they need to hear. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful day.